The hills are alive with the sound of speculation.
Speculation.
Just wait till we get a soundboard.
So
Don't.
you can go doing every time you
Don't.
have a point.
No, 'cause-
Please, somebody else use the soundboard. Vast, I'm putting it in your hands because I can't be trusted with a soundboard, okay?
Oh, it would be chaos.
I just mean for recording all of these like homemade segment transitions.
Yeah.
There would be many guitar riffs.
If it were up to me, it would just be the whole time. So.
No, no. Vetoing that.
And basically, it's like Trans-Siberian in heavy metal.
How do we sound, Vass? Can we get going?
Me.
Okay, we're sounding good. I'm just talking right now because I heard Arcadius and I heard Scorch, but I did not hear my voice. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check,
Check that mic.
G-cells, seashells.
Oh, don't even try the tongue twisters.
She
That's
sells
an
seashells by
insta-fail.
the seashore?
Yep, can't do it. I lose every time.
I'm okay if I don't think
Alright, we're
about
good
it.
to go.
If I think about it, I'm so totally fucked when it comes to that kind of thing. All right, we have a podcast to record, and you know the drill. Danny, you know who we are. I'm Scorch. I got Arcadia Zero here playing Minecraft with me. And Vast
Yes, sir.
Empires is not here. She's in Monster Hunter doing Minecraft things, so she's kind of here in spirit.
In spirit.
Yeah.
Right. I am mining for those Steamworks.
The Steamworks. So on Twitter, there was a guy, don't remember him, but I retweeted him. I don't remember his name, but he had some very interesting possible leaks regarding the next state of play that Sony is going to be releasing, I believe, on the 6th of August. And if you want to date this video, this is August 1st, so we are 5 days away from this. That puts it on a Thursday or something like that, Wednesday or Thursday. That they usually do it on Thursdays, right?
It is a Thursday. The 6th is a Thursday.
Okay. Well, it includes some things that smack you right in the nostalgia, some things that make you very happy, and other things that kind of make you scratch your head and ask why exactly are they doing this. But the list is long. We have many trailers to run down and a lot of segments to hit, and we have ourselves a list master that probably doesn't have a list in front of her, seeing as how she's in Monster Hunter.
Oh,
So-
but I have a laptop beside me,
Okay.
and the
Oh.
email
The
is pulled
supplemental
open.
list.
Okay.
I mean, how could I be a list master and not be able to multitask by having a list by my side? Come
Vass,
on
I don't,
now.
I don't know. I don't know your capabilities.
Give me some
The hip
you-
list.
I-
Hip firing.
I also know that I was the one that curated this list after the leak.
First time for everything. Let's go
Hey,
to
hey.
the list.
Ouch! Okay.
And starting off with a sizzling burn within the group, we now move to our first topic.
I need ointment.
So the first thing on the list that Scorch so kindly and helpfully curated is a Parasite Eve remake.
Yeah. I know nothing about that, seeing as how it was a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, I was not of that generation that played PlayStation 1.
I
Or
did
owned
play
one.
PlayStation 1, but I played... God, what did I play? I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I played Gex. I played
Gex? You played
Spyro.
Gex?
I played Gex, dude.
I did not know you played Gex.
Yeah. I played Spyro. I played a few other things.
What was
Cool
the
Borders
Spyro I do?
3, Ace Combat.
Oh, Ace Combat.
Oh yeah.
So I actually was around for the PlayStation. I did not own my own PlayStation. However, we got my cousin JJ, rest in peace, and his little brother's PlayStation. Once I don't know, like a TV fell on it or something, or maybe they got mad and threw it or something. I don't know, but we got theirs.
A hand-me-down broken
Before
PlayStation?
a hand-me-down broken play, it worked. It worked fine, but there's like a crack on it.
Mhm.
Um, and so we got theirs, I think, when they got a PlayStation 2. So we were like a
Oh,
little
wow.
behind, you
Okay.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I was still there playing it, and I recall Parasite Eve. It was Square Enix's, I don't want to say response to, but it was their Resident Evil. It was
Okay. Okay.
basically a survival horror type game that came out, oh gosh, like 97, 98, somewhere
Yeah,
around.
I want to say 98 after some of my research, which was not extensive, mind you.
Mhm,
I was just compiling a list.
mhm.
Is it bad that I've never been a fan of the Resident Evil games, like, at all?
No,
Nah.
no, I've never played one. It's just not
Uh,
my genre of game.
I played
And there's
Resident Evil 5 with a cousin, and Resident Evil 5 is only good as co-op, I believe. Or so I've been told. That's my entire Resident Evil knowledge is 5, and no one likes 5. So there we go.
Maybe that's why none of us play it. It's like we
Yeah.
played the suckiest one and we're like, meh, moved on.
Yeah. But
but it has been a long time.
oof.
They haven't did a sequel, so it'd be what, like 20 years?
Um,
Oh
i-
no.
if we knew what you were talking about because you're now a robot again.
Yeah, it
Oh.
came in real hard.
Yeah. But
Uh,
generally, yes, it has been about 20 years-ish. 22 years?
yes, 22 years now since there's
Ooh.
no one there. If I'm not still a robot,
You
Yes,
it
you're a
are.
appears.
robot.
You are hardcore a robot right
You're
now.
very much a robot.
Well, then you guys take it away.
Terminator would be proud.
Are you sure Terminator would be proud?
I don't know, would he?
I don't know.
Why would he not be proud of me as a robot?
I would guess he would just say things like Sarah Connor all the time. So like
You have to get out. You have to leave now.
what are you waiting for? Do it. That's the wrong movie.
Yeah, it is.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about Parasite Eve. It's just one of the things that's on the leaks. They are, I would guess that it's one of those old titles that they are trying to bring some of the hardcore fans into line of buying the next PlayStation.
Or the hardcore fans will tell everyone how much it sucked. Don't play it.
Well,
It could backfire.
if it sucked, why would they be remaking it, you know?
Because they can easily.
I guess.
If the timing and the tech is there for that to allow them to easily do it without having to cost them a lot.
Like, you guys, this was our vision the whole time. No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Pretty
Well, I
sure
mean,
you're a liar.
but you can look at the success of Final Fantasy Remake, and
That
how
might be why
that.
they're doing it.
Yeah, that's
And-
true.
Ooh,
I
guys,
can't-
look, they did it. We can absolutely do this now.
Well, it's the same company. It's Square Enix that's doing
It's
it.
Square. hmm And so they're also, you could also say that, oh gosh, there's another,
What the fuck
like
is that?
reviving those properties and making sure that, Square is also doing the Marvel Avenger line, so they're getting into action games again,
Hmm.
like action adventure games. They've always had Final Fantasy, but like Final Fantasy VII has been a flagship, so they're locking down their dominance in the JRPG sphere. So maybe they're looking to like bring up another game genre and like locking it down. And Parasite Eve is a property that was well known and loved when it first came out, and so they don't have to start completely from scratch with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's a easy cash grab for the entry and the momentum they got.
Ow.
Hmm.
Oh.
Well, I would agree. I wouldn't say necessarily say easy, if only because I don't know what goes into them actually doing the remakes.
Yeah, me neither.
Because like if you look at Final Fantasy, they
Oh.
put a lot of it. They put a
Well,
lot
that was
into
like
that.
they actually changed story. It wasn't just put it through a reskin and then like launch it. That was a lot more to that one.
And Square seems to still be one of the developers who puts a lot of effort, even in the remaster that they did for Final Fantasy 12. Like they did the Zodiac edition, they smoothed things out. They
They gave that quad speed.
yeah, they
Oh my
did some
They
goodness!
made
good
it
stuff.
bearable.
What a lifesaver! It is actually enjoyable to play that game when you can just be like, I need to get over there, and I'm
So
there.
so I imagine that Square still seems to really double down on quality and quality of life things for their players. So I imagine it's not just going to be a straight port. They're going to do
Yeah.
some things to improve the gameplay and such and such.
I
But that's just me.
wonder if they took a look at the reception of the Final Fantasy VII remake that they just did and thought, okay, well, if we can do it with this and we know it's well received, can we do it with other properties that we currently have the rights to?
You think they're just fishing?
Yeah, I wouldn't really blame them.
I mean, I could see him doing that.
I'm getting attacked by an Enderman. Okay.
Another story that made it on the
How?
list, speaking of Square, Nomura-san reconfirms that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is already in development. Which I figured we already knew, but
Yeah. I mean, with the development cycle that we saw with the first part, I'm sure that there's gonna have to be a little bit of reassurance that yes, we're still on board for this. Because it took a while from the time they announced that to part one coming out for them to like have any amount of that, you know?
hmm
As my
Yeah.
words currently deteriorate into nothingness as I try and not look any Enderman in the face.
Well, and that makes sense because even if they had a blueprint in mind, even if they have a blueprint, the base game, even if they have all of the dev nodes and story nodes and all the things that they didn't have a chance to add that they're adding now, there's just a lot to do to take a game that was made in like that was started to be made in like what 93, 94.
And revitalize it into the 21st century.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but when is it going to be released? Who knows?
Yeah, that wasn't really part of the leak that I got my hands on. It was just, okay, he's gonna say that they're working on it. And that's about all we really have to go on there.
There are things. They are happening.
Yeah, I can't say that was really surprising.
It's
You
just
know?
more of a feels good
Yeah,
assurance.
I guess so. Face touch meme, whatever that is.
So, speaking of some more feels
Oh,
good.
fuck! Hold on. Excuse me. A ghast just spawned in front of me and shot me with a fireball.
Are you in the nether?
Oh, I am in the nether.
Well, no wonder. You're in
Yeah.
the danger zone.
I am in the danger zone. I wanted to explore. It looks nice now. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's do it up.
Take two.
Yes.
So, speaking of feel good, Sony Santa Monica
Wow.
may have confirmed a sequel to their stunning yet uncompleted from this gamer's library game, God of War.
Yes.
So we're gonna keep
Give me
like
more of that curb stompy goodness.
we're gonna keep some of this on the down low because we have differing opinions on this. We're purely gonna be looking at the leak at this point. We're not gonna be dragging out any hurt feelings or lack
And
of hurt
closets full of
feelings.
skeletons.
Yeah,
Many skeletons.
but this is another thing that I am not surprised by in this leak. Um, God of War was a wildly successful game that they put out in
Wildly.
2018, and to think that Studio Santa Monica was not capitalizing on this and making another seems foolish. You know,
I mean, they
So,
left it to make another.
they
They
did.
left
They
it real
absolutely
open
did.
for the next one. So I'd have been, me and millions of others that have been pissed if they didn't make another one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so my question that takes us into the speculation zone is, isn't like, are we going to get one? Any of that clickbaity? Are we going to get another God of War? Just makes me roll my eyes because yes, we're going to get another God of War. It was,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it sold well. It was an amazing game.
Wasn't it Game of the
Um,
Year?
In 2018, it may have been,
it
but
I thought it
may
was
have
Game
been.
of the Year.
It probably was. I think my vote that year was for Spider-Man, but that was just personal preference.
No, I'm talking about like
As-
industry. Wasn't it
yeah.
Oh,
denoted as Game of the Year in industry?
I think so. Like what last year was Sekiro. I think 2018 it was God of War.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But my speculation is this question to you two:
Her.
is it going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, or are they gonna complete it in enough time so it gets onto both consoles?
Oh, they're gonna
It's
do it in 5.
yeah. It's just PlayStation 5.
They're gonna be like all this extra honking power, all this extra render capability, which they already pushed pretty significantly in the last God of War. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, the envelope shall be rammed farther.
Well, the production cycle on God of War 2018 was very long. And
hmm
if they had just wrapped up their production cycle in 2018, we're looking at like a 5 or 6 year production cycle that they're only 2 years into. And
hmm
to release a game on PS4 that's like at the least 3 years outdated at this point seems a little foolhardy, even from the perspective of having to work off of two kinds of architecture for your game.
Yep.
So I'm going off of this is going to be purely PS5 stuff.
Agreed.
Make sense?
It does. I'm just deciding if I agree or disagree.
Ah!
Um,
I almost dumped lava on my head. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Thank you, Bucket.
the
Oh, I'm in the
only
nether. It doesn't
part.
work.
Oh. Sorry. Keep going.
We
Uh,
apologize fast.
no, you guys are fine. Um, let's see. Another leak that we had was that the oh man, I couldn't even pronounce this game when it came out. And by the way, I didn't actually like it. The Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne game
Uh-huh.
will be remastered and released.
Butchered, something, something.
Yeah.
hmm It was like a cult classic or a cult following game, JRPG that came out on the PlayStation 2, I think was the first one.
I think so. What I know about
And
it is that the people that played it loved it, and the people that didn't play it asked, "What is that?" And
yeah,
it's
it had
also produced by Atlas.
to me, if I remember it right, it had like a kind of polarizing art style, and then it was kind of weird. Weird in a precursor to Persona, kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, It is Atlas. They did go on to make, and I think had already made, at least one Persona game. Um, I don't know anything about it. I think Danny may know something about it. She plays Persona, but I don't know how far down the rabbit hole she is. I don't really have much to say about that. It's just one of those things that they put in the leak.
Hmm.
Yeah, no thoughts here.
Which is, and I feel like I've actually seen footage of the remaster. So while it's, while the leak was for, state of play, the actual remastering was already announced, I believe.
Yeah, there are a couple of things like that on here.
Hmm. Okay, this is a very expansive list, so I'm going to keep it moving.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
huge.
Next on the list is that there are rumors that in the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, or Spider-Man Miles Morales, there will be no Peter Parker.
Phased
Thoughts?
out.
It's fine with me.
Well, I mean, I just see it as the progression of time. They're doing this to other superheroes where they're trying to reintroduce the next generation that basically takes over, for the equivalent heroes that have always been around. Probably one of the few ones that won't ever probably get retired hardly as like some of the big names. But even then, I take that back. There are some comics that they've actually already been segued off for different personas or characters, like Batman has been done. He's actually been done several times.
Batman.
Well, I'm going to push my glasses up for a second and say that I agree with you, but I think for this one, it's just going to be hopefully pretty expansive, but just an interlude of Miles learning to become Spider-Man in a way that's set apart from, like, that's similar to the story, his comic book origins, but like setting it apart from, say, Enter the Spider-Verse. And so there's not going to be a lot of Peter Parker in it,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I mean, technically, they're doing a cool. Technically, it's an alternative universe because Peter Parker isn't dead in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah. But I don't think Peter is being phased out. I think they're really just capitalizing on, again, the popularity of the Into the Spider-Verse film, and
Yeah, that's
that
true.
they're saving Peter for the actual sequel to
This game?
Sony Spider-Man. Yeah, this is
Okay.
more like an intermediate like gap between the story. That's how I see it, and that's how I feel like the devs are putting it together. It's like a little aperitif before the actual game.
You bring up a couple of interesting points. Um, I want to come
Always
back
do.
around. Yes, you do. I want to come back around to Enter the Spider-Verse and the success of that film. It might be that they decided that they didn't need a Peter Parker purely because of the success of that film, and they decided that Miles Morales is enough of a name now to be able to produce a game without I'm gonna say main Spider-Man, even though there have been dozens and dozens of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And they just decided that we don't need Peter at this point in time. Plus, these are the same guys that are working on the newest Ratchet and Clank game, so
So you probably don't have time to make another Spider-Man.
they would have to split their time a little bit, which would feed into the speculation that we've heard about um, Spider-Man Miles Morales not having as grand of a scope as others. Does that make sense? Am I rambling now?
No.
No, and that does make sense. I'm glad you said no first because I was going to be mean and say yes. But I am not a mean person. I'm a good person and I can be nice to my friends. No, but seriously, fresh effort out. But seriously though, I do think that um, it's going. I think everyone who thinks it's just going to be like 10 missions and it's done, I don't believe that because they have too much goodwill and too much of a successful story and branding in Miles Morales as Spider-Man, so they're not going to squander it. It really is just going to be a bridge between the Spider-Man game for PS4 and then its sequel, which is going to be on PS5 exclusively.
Okay.
And I also think it's also going to be used as the kind of sequel, and I don't even want to say the sequel, but the continuation of the story so that people who still own a PS4 and aren't going to immediately adopt a PS5 aren't pissed
That they get
when
left out.
that they get left out. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, not all new games can be insta transition to the new systems, because again, you can't take a player base and go, all right, new hotness is out, we're excluding all of you now. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to go over well.
And they've kind of done it before,
They have,
and it doesn't really work.
and they know this.
Yeah.
They get one chance, and if they muck it up, they're going to go to the other game system.
Yep. I don't know that they would do that so much now, but before, yes.
I still think it's on the forefront of their minds.
I think there are some people who are like hardcore locked into what they're locked into right now,
Oh yeah.
and then the rest of them are just like, well, what can I afford?
Yeah.
Because overall, the majority of the games are cross-platform at this point.
Mm-hmm.
A majority, with the exception of a few.
Yeah.
Well, and when I say majority, I mean like the majority of your AAA titles, your AAA franchise titles, your Assassin's Creeds, your FIFA, your Maddens, your there's other things that I'm just not thinking of right now. But those type of games, you're going to be able to get them on either console. It's the console exclusives that are, I feel that are for gamers are system sellers, but for casual gamers or just people who enjoy gaming but aren't that serious into it, they don't like make or break their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it can influence it. Just
Yeah.
one good casual player wanting his FIFA is enough to influence a platform purchase.
Yeah. I think I'm looking at it more of a if you are a casual gamer and you played Horizon Zero Dawn and you love the hell out of that game, then yes, you're going to stick with Sony to get the sequel.
Yeah.
But if you played Horizon Zero Dawn, you're like, okay, this is fun, whatever.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. But I don't think it's going to influence you in the next console cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next on the list, Silent Hill. There are rumblings and rumors. Oh, I'm not either. But as a franchise, it's a
on the
long
list.
running.
We're going to talk about it.
It's on the list, and there are rumors that it's coming back, but we don't know if it's going to be a remake or a remaster or just a sequel in the series.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Silent Hill has a very strange naming convention that I don't think I'll be able to get into right now, which feeds into my worry about it being a remake or a remaster. I know that a Silent Hill game has not come out for a very long time. It was more like a PS2 series of games. To my knowledge, I was never that much of a hardcore horror game player, so
Me
my
neither.
my knowledge of this is very limited. But
Same.
it as I remember it, Silent Hill has always been attached to PlayStation. I don't think it has ever gone to Xbox. And Nintendo doesn't even want it, so...
Well, hold on a second, because I think that,
Unless it was GameCube.
yeah, I think GameCube, it picked Game.
Oh, you just
You
unplugged
pulled your
yourself.
mic out.
Yep, that one I did with my elbow when I was trying to switch over to the laptop. GameCube had a couple of quote unquote more adult games that came to the console. One of them was one of the Metal Gear games, I believe.
Okay.
And I think Silent Hill was one of them too. Let me look at that.
Okay.
You guys ramble on, please. Ramble on.
That's a good
Rada,
song.
rada, rada. Rada,
Um,
rada, rada.
What is one thing that we could run away with right now while she's checking on that? We already hit God of War, and I think
Yeah,
that
we
was
did.
like our bigger
Muy
thing.
importante.
I know that one of the trailers that they were speculating about, and Vaz is gonna have my head for jumping around the list, but you,
Womp womp.
This is your list, not
Arcadius,
mine.
had thought of getting into Ratchet and Clank with the latest Ratchet and Clank edition, right? I think so. I think you said yes, right?
I don't know.
Or you were thinking
I can't
about it.
remember.
I find that strange, but okay.
Are you talking to Vast or me?
I'm talking to you,
Oh,
Arcadius.
sorry. I've played a good piece of one of the other Ratchet and Clanks before, but I've never like played it 100% all the way through or played all of them. But I for sure would play this next one. Because that was Ratchet and Clank was still in the phase where, again, I never owned a PlayStation back when the Ratchet and Clanks came out, and I only went over to some friend's house and played them a little bit. So I never got a whole lot of exposure to be able to play them, so I just never did.
That makes sense.
But I can remedy that on this one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, guys, real quick. Resident Evil was remastered and put on the GameCube, not Silent
Okay,
Hill.
so it wasn't Silent Hill.
Yep.
Okay. So, Listmaster, where are we on the list after Silent Hill?
Well, sticking with Konami, they're
You pulled your mic out again.
You pulled your mic out again, man.
Womp womp.
Where'd you
You
go?
still haven't plugged it in yet, Vast.
I mean,
You're
I could look up the list, but it's so like my phone
Can
is
you hear me now?
literally 8 inches away. Yeah. We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
all right. Sticking with Konami, Metal Gear 5 collection on PS5.
Okay. So, from what I understand about the semantics of this list, they said the Metal Gear Solid collection with the exception of Metal Gear 5, Metal Gear Solid 5. So it would
It'll
be
be a remaster?
every game in the series except for Metal Gear Solid 5, both of those. So it would go up to, what was Metal Gear Solid 4? Guns of the Patriots, I think? Was that the last one? Before? Yeah, I think
You know,
so.
I don't know.
I am the wrong person to ask this, or to
Well.
be asked of this.
So it seems like I have the most Metal Gear knowledge then.
Yes, you do. I've not
I
played a
know
single
that
one.
Raiden had good hair.
Ooh, boy.
Robot's
back.
Domo arigato.
What are you doing, Vast?
I'm
Being
literally
all-
just sitting here.
Wow. Well, yeah, I think they're excluding Metal Gear Solid 5. And that might be as a result of some of the turmoil that Konami had with Hideo Kojima and them not having an amicable breakup.
Separation.
Yeah.
Probably had something to do with it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Kojima
bet
gave him
there's
the
some-
finger.
I bet there's some money splits in there too.
Yeah, probably.
Money's always involved.
That is a logical addition, Madam Robot.
Well, Scorch, I'm afraid I'm going to ask you to grab that phone that's so far away, just in case my voice continues to go in and out like this. Then you can maintain the list.
Okay, all right. I will bring up the list. Okay, what do we have here? Metal Gear Solid Collection, and then the next thing on the list is Fortnite content for PS5. We knew it was coming. You have to have some kind of Fortnite bullshit to pull in all of the 12-year-olds that have access to their parents' credit cards.
Yeah.
You can't not include this thing, seeing as how it's like the biggest game of arguably the generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. We knew it was going to be moving to the next generation.
Yeah.
It's still bringing in cash. It's still funding Epic and still allowing them to make changes that are overall beneficial to game developers and in the end gamers. So
Yeah.
I still don't like
keep
how
on
they got
using.
there to some degree.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah, me
But
neither.
I much preferred life pre Battle Royale. I just gonna say it.
Oh, dude,
But
me too.
but keep on using your parents' credit cards, kids.
The future of gaming depends on it.
You are funding Unreal 5.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty darn good.
Yes, it does. All right. Is that all we have to say about Fortnite? Because we can totally move on. I would not care.
The only other thing I have on Fortnite, this is in the speculation zone type thing, but they had another concert. Either they've either done the next concert or they had one planned. It's another virtual event, and while I'm not going to put Fortnite on my system to watch it, I think I'll end up looking for a stream afterwards, or a recording of it afterwards, because I was actually kind of impressed with the one that they did for Travis Scott, and so I want to see what they do for this one.
Did they say who this concert was for?
They did, and I just don't remember who it is. It might be Marshmello again.
Could be the Wiggles. That's the target audience of Fortnite. Fortnite dig. All right. Moving on. Persona 4 Golden launching on the PlayStation Store this winter, along with a Persona 3 port. I'm not big on Persona, but the people that are very into Persona. And I guess hearing that you will be able to get more on the PlayStation Store is a good thing for the Persona people and Atlas in general, I guess. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I've never played one.
Me neither, really.
I think I'm looking at this as Sony going one step closer to getting us all to actually acknowledge and appreciate their not PlayStation Now, but wait, is it called PlayStation Now?
Their streaming service
Yes.
for
But
games? I think so, yeah.
for games, I think it's PlayStation Now. I think they're really encouraging their developers and game studios to remaster those popular games so they have more things that people want to play with PlayStation Now. And then when PlayStation 5 is actually fully announced and they talk more about the integration and all this kind of stuff,
Go full steam.
yeah, they'll have all of these good things that you will want to play.
Yeah. You gotta have a
makes
catalog
sense.
when you launch a new
Yeah,
console.
don't do like Xbox One did when it first launched and it had like 5 games or 10
You can
games.
have Netflix on it. Buy our console, and everybody's like, "What? Oh, by the way, you
by the
have
way,
to
the
be
camera
always
has to stare-
online."
Oh yeah, and by the way, this camera's gonna stare at you for every minute you have the
Yep.
console on.
It's an IR. It can see you when you walk across, and it's not even on.
All the things gamers love.
Yes, constant surveillance.
Dat surveillance.
So the next thing on our list comes with a question that I put on there. And I am going to put it to you like this. Days Gone 2. Question, why?
Well, as again someone who did not. Oh snap! Hold on.
What?
Yes.
Who made Days Gone?
It's a first party studio, but I don't know exactly.
So I was watching the funny, the kind of funny, what is it? PlayStation XOXO I Love You.
Hmm.
And they mentioned that Days Gone is set in a universe that the studio previously worked on, and they had some interesting ideas of what that could mean for like Days Gone and Days Gone 2. But I don't remember what the studio is, so I don't remember what the world is. But it was something that was kind of like, the I'm going to say this word wrong because it's late, but incongruous.
Incongruent?
Yes.
Incongruousness?
Yes, yes. Between the game and Days Gone, like they were like one was kind of sci-fi-ish, and this one, gosh, I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold on, guys, keep talking because this is annoying me. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I had a
So,
friend of mine that played a lot of Days Gone, but that's all I remember seeing of it.
did he like it or not?
He did,
Yeah. Um,
but I don't think it was my cup of tea. So I was just like,
so
oh, that's cool.
yeah, one of the things that held me back from actually playing Days Gone was that one, it's zombies, and I'm fucking tired of zombies,
Yeah.
and two,
Because
it's set in the Pacific Northwest, and a title that came out that had a huge amount of clout about the Pacific Northwest. Well, there were a couple of them. Infamous Second Son was one of them, but the other one was The Last of Us. It's set in the Pacific Northwest,
yeah.
and I think people have seen enough of that area and also zombies.
So didn't this game come after the game play period for Black Ops 3 get over with, where they basically, everyone plays the zombie mode in Black Ops. So by this time, a game centered around zombies, it was kind of like, really? Like,
Well, I think even more than that, like if you just look at the game, well, first of all, the game universe that it's set in is Siphon Filter.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
hmm They made Siphon Filter, and so
Wow.
apparently, if you go through and play that game, there are Easter eggs that let you know that you're in that same universe, and
Interesting.
that something went wrong in that universe, and that's how the like some mission failed, and that's how the zombie virus got out and infected
I
people.
guess that's
So
interesting.
and so I think that's some speculation, like maybe they're going to tie Days Gone back into Siphon Filter some kind of way, like that's speculation. Um, or that's what some people who actually played the Siphon Filter series would like. Okay, all right. All that aside, Arcadius, you're bang on about people being tired of zombies, but if you look at the game itself, you could literally tell someone was like, "Well, I really like Sons of Anarchy," and then someone said, "Well, I really love The Walking Dead," and they're like, "Together, our powers combined."
Yes.
But with the extremely lengthy development times it takes to make video games, by the time this game came out, we were all over zombies. Everyone was over The Walking Dead. Sons of Anarchy has gone off the air. Like
Yeah.
so, it probably came out like 2 or 3 years outside of the zombie Ziggurat window.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Oh, poor them. So what was the company that made it?
Uh, Edict, it was formerly Edict, and it's SCE Bend Studio.
Okay. Ben sounds familiar, but I don't know anything other than
Oh,
that.
Eidetic probably, Eidetic Studios.
Okay.
I
Oh
can
man.
read. I have a degree.
Multiple, if memory serves.
Eyes can
Multiple
read.
degrees.
You were slain by a piglet. Piglet again.
Yeah, they're really aggressive in the Nether right now. So the next thing on our list is Vagrant Story 2, and I have
Super excited! Sorry to cut
really,
you off, but super excited!
really,
Yes.
because I know nothing
Explain.
about this. I only have
Okay.
one little thing in my notes, and it's that Vagrant Story 1 was developed by Square Enix originally on PlayStation 1, and it was an
hmm
action
I played that
RPG.
game. Yes, I played that game. It was set, get you guys ready for this? It was
Yes.
set on the world of Ivalice. What else happens in
Oh.
Ivalice?
Final Fantasy 12.
Final Fantasy 12. So that was Vagrant Story wasn't as popular, but it was a bit of a cult classic. I recall playing it too, and it was a game where like the world was in ruins basically, and it was an action dungeon crawler for the most part. And this is again during the time when I could only rent video games, but my mom would let me rent video games, so I've
The
never finished
Blockbuster
it.
days.
Yeah.
The blockbuster days. But you start out like underground and there's a workshop area and you'd go out, you'd collect materials, you'd fight, you'd come back and you'd build toys. Not toys, excuse me, build weapons and armor for yourself. I think the main character's name was Sydney, maybe?
Okay.
And if you look at the game, like even as old as it is, you can see the art style and character modeling that eventually led to Final Fantasy 12. So that's why I'm excited about it because it would bring us back to Ivalice and hopefully with an actual big story that ties into Final Fantasy.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we had some amount of knowledge in it as a collective because I have never heard of this.
hmm
I, at that time, when I had a PlayStation 1, my age was in the single digits. So, like, none of that meant anything to me.
Well, and the other thing is that like the PlayStation, some people might argue that the SNES was like a golden age of JRPG, but the
hmm
PlayStation was the golden age of JRPGs. There were so many good JRPGs, and that didn't really, even though there were really good franchises that continued onward, they never like reached
The crescendo that was that period of time.
yeah. So then you did have your Vagrant Stories, you had your Final Fantasy VII, you had your Xenogears, you had your Star Ocean, you
Hmm
had was it Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger
Um,
was on there. I recognize the name.
yeah, Chrono Trigger, which people have been clamoring for some kind of sequel, remaster, update. There's just a ton, like, and those are just the ones that I remember playing. There was so much more. So, good on you, Square. Bring it back. I will play it.
Well, you got one person's money, Square.
hmm
On to the rest of the people that only vaguely remember the title.
Vaguely with Vagrants. I see what you did there. I see what you
Hey!
did.
Zoom.
Kill me!
Oh my gosh, this is Match.
What?
Your Palico just joined my team.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, what?
Um, uh, my old Palico just joined her team
We
in Monster
can do
Hunter.
that still?
Yeah, your Palicos will always join. I just haven't seen Match in a long time.
Oh. I don't even remember what I named mine.
I don't know.
I'd have to see it.
But anyway,
Yeah.
back to our list at hand, if you guys would lend me your attention. We now have all of the rumored trailers that are going to be in this block of entertainment on the 6th, and there are a lot of them. We already talked about Silent Hill. They've got a little reveal trailer. Don't know how that's going to fly over. They're usually pretty gory and body horror-y.
Mm,
If that's your thing, go for it. If it's not, avert your
not
eyes.
usually for general audience.
Wait, didn't they already show us one?
Maybe? I don't know.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Resident Evil. That was Resident Evil. I'm sorry.
Resident Evil. Yes.
The Village. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The next one is Metal Gear or not Metal Gear. Metal Slug Returns.
I thought you were going to say a completely different word there.
What did you think I was gonna say?
Nothing.
I'm now super curious. Give
Yeah,
us
not
now.
anything that we can say on stream.
I am somebody's daughter.
You must. Okay, I think
All
I know
right.
what it was now. Never
As soon as we get off stream, I'm gonna ask you.
mind. In the safe space.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Metal Slug? The return of it?
No, I played it once and I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, that
I
was an
know.
arcade game for me.
I know a lot of people enjoyed it. Bring it on. There's someone who wants to play it.
Yeah.
The same way that I wanted to play Streets of Rage, and they finally gave it to me after God knows how many years. So I'm rooting for you guys.
So the next one is King of Fighters 15.
Wow.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't know there were 14 King of Fighters.
I didn't either.
And second of all, is King of Fighters the one with the guy that has a jaguar head?
I think so.
Okay. That's
Like
all
he's
I
been around
remember
for
of
so
it then.
long.
Yeah, the only fighting games that I really know are Soul Calibur,
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. When was the last time there was a Tekken?
Not for a long time.
I want to say relatively recently.
Was it
Honestly.
PlayStation 3?
Like, as far as fighting games go, because fighters don't often appear with the frequency that others do.
Yeah. And then what's the Soul bad guy in Kai Kisuke? Which one is that one?
Dude, I have no idea. I don't even know
Oh.
what words you just said.
Or there are
the-
English words?
The two mascots, it's Soul bad guy and Kai. I always called him Kai. It could be pronounced differently, but Kai Kisuke. I can't remember the name of that series, but I know some of the characters from it. Yeah, those are the only fighting games I know. Oh, and
Okay.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Smash Brothers.
King of Fighters right there. Ho-ho! See what I did? See what I did there?
I did.
Ha ha
And
ha.
I applaud you.
Bonk you.
So the next thing on the trailer list is Call of Duty Black Ops Vietnam. They're going to have both a reveal trailer and some multiplayer to
Too soon.
show off to us. What do y'all think?
Too soon.
Too soon for Vietnam or too soon for Call of Duty?
Too soon for Vietnam.
You think so? They've done Vietnam games before.
I know.
They've
that's,
had
like,
Vietnam
why
Call
can't
of Duty
we have
games
a nice,
before.
really futuristic type? Like neither Battlefield nor Call of Duty has tread into the futuristic market like heavily.
Not recently, at least.
No. And if you by recent, you mean within the last like 8 years? No.
Yeah. I'd agree with that, I guess.
I wish for something fresh. And
Fresh. With laser pew pews.
Yeah, I want to fire something Call of Duty that's got pew pews or Battlefield, and they might have my money. Maybe not Call of Duty, but Battlefield for sure would have my money if they had a futuristic setting. I would play it so hard.
Yeah.
And as would everyone else.
I don't know what Battlefield is up to, but I don't know if I trust in DICE enough to get a Battlefield right now.
Well, not right
Is
now.
it DICE or is it their overlords?
Oh, you mean EA?
Mm-hmm.
DICE
Well,
is
no one
so
likes it.
so deep down in EA's pocket, you can't separate
Yeah, you
the
might as
two.
well consider them the
Okay.
same company.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
can't really distinguish them at this point.
Yeah.
All right, well then I understand.
Oh, we have a cave chicken and a water spider down here. Okay, the next thing on our list is Crash Bandicoot 4, the boss battle trailer. Now, we've already had some Crash Bandicoot 4 stuff come out into the wild. I think they invited a few people to like witness some Crash 4. I
Witness
know
me.
I've seen some of it.
Witness me.
Witness me. I don't think there's an overlap in those two, other than what I just said. But I don't know why they would be highlighting the bosses unless they did something different. I don't know.
It seems like an odd thing to highlight because that kind of gives some of the game away.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a trick to the Crash Bandicoot bosses, right? Maybe
Usually.
they're just like showing what the bosses look like or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just it starts out with like a game trailer and then it does some gameplay, and the gameplay is a boss fight.
Yeah. Like the first boss in the game, so they don't give away
hmm
everything.
Yeah, I don't think if they're going to take you to the last boss, but I'm sure it's probably like your first or second boss in the game,
Yeah.
just to highlight and to because isn't one of Crash's like signatures as for gameplay is that it has difficult bosses, or is
Yeah, I mean, they were difficult for me when I was playing them and was just barely into Crash Bandicoot. Mostly because I was 7 and my fingers were dumb.
and you couldn't save, right?
You could save, yeah.
The
Oh,
save
oh,
points
that's
were
right, the
pretty
save
far apart
cards.
though. You
Yeah.
had to finish like a whole level in
Yeah.
order to like find a spot you could comfortably save.
Shall we move on with our list?
Let's go.
Okay.
Do it.
Next thing, I'm sure he's going to send some people into the stratosphere and some people into their couches. Uh, Overwatch 2 campaign gameplay trailer.
Ooh. I'm only intrigued because of the campaign part.
Yeah, that's kind of where I sit too.
I really like all of the fan created and even official Overwatch stories and backstories. Like that
Have
the
you
game
read any of the fiction?
not I
Is
think I've
there
ended up reading
official
some.
fiction?
Yeah, no, they
Like
hold
a
on.
book?
Not a book, but they've
Oh.
done short stories. They've done short stories with the release of some new characters, like Baptiste had a story. Um, and then Anna had a story with one of the events where she was highlighted, and I think there's one. I think Mercy had a story when she was
Really?
highlighted. So they're
Oh.
like short stories, probably like less than 10 pages, maybe 15 pages, but they're official short stories, and they did that alongside some of the official comics for the universe too, which
Regardless
were
to
pretty good.
say, I'm a
That's
big
cool.
fan of a lot of the different fan created fictions and actual story and the meatiness behind the characters because the characters just stand alone by themselves in the game. Okay, they're fun, but like I would be looking very forward to something campaign and story oriented for all those characters.
Yeah.
I
And if I never played multiplayer Overwatch, I would almost want to buy it just to do all the campaigns and then have some satisfaction in that.
I would have
so
to see if the campaign was worth it for me
Like
to
long
purchase
enough
it.
to make your money's worth.
Because, like, a nice campaign is good and all, but when somebody says Overwatch, my eyes instinctively narrow. And, uh, stop it. I can barely see the TV. And another thing is, it's made by Blizzard, and I don't know how to feel about Blizzard right now.
Yeah,
mhm.
that is a holdback.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I have a little bit of pettiness for Overwatch 2. I say that while admitting that I'm like 95% sure I'm going to purchase it unless something bizarre happens and we find out the campaign is only like 10 missions, right? Then I'm like, no.
Like
Yeah.
one mission
Um,
per character. That's pretty lame.
yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. But here's my little moment of pettiness. Um, I'm or disappointment maybe, or even pissed offitude, because they're
Trademark, Vest of
literal
Pirates.
they're literally doing a reverse Battleborn.
Mm.
Yeah, Battleborn had it good, didn't they?
They had a. I thought that they had a decent campaign, at
Yeah, me
least to
too.
start with,
The
from what we
characters are
saw.
great.
Oh shit.
Are you battling fast?
No, but I climbed up a vine and Kushala Daora was right there.
Oh, I thought GCB was ruining the day again.
Oh shoot, Juicy B and Devil Joe, man, Savage Devil Joe. Anyway, not to derail us, but I had to run away from Kushala because that stuff is not fun. It's literally my least favorite fight in this game. Um. Anyway, but yeah, they are doing a reverse Battleborn where they have the luxury of success right now that they can just go ahead and put a campaign out while you know shoot while doing all this other stuff. But on the other hand, I'm also really interested on it from someone who does enjoy playing Overwatch, just in general, mainly with friends, because they're supposed to be releasing a whole slew of new characters, like Battleborn had when it first released. And that
hmm
includes more tanks. Because one of the things that's really, really frustrating about playing Overwatch right now is that there is an imbalance of character choice between your tanks and your healers versus your DPS characters. Um, and there is a role called main tank. They are the shield characters, the shield tanks in the game.
hmm
There's only two of them. There have been only two shield tanks since the game first launched in 2016. And it is an almost mandatory character. It's not mandatory. If people just got good and thought outside the box, then you wouldn't have to rely on them. But because people are either young or stuck in their ways, they
Drippy.
seem to yeah, they require those two characters, and you can get burned out without the choice of playing another character, like another shield type character effectively. And they just let everyone linger on this while they, turned around and worked on Overwatch 2. So I'm actually really interested to see if any of the gameplay changes that they're doing for their PvP mode are going to save the game for me
Okay.
and for the community.
I'll be sure and keep up with it considering Overwatch has such a dedicated fan base even when they pull things like this. And it has such
Well,
a visceral reaction among its player base, including me. I had a visceral reaction to it. So, like,
I think we should try the beta.
for the Overwatch 2?
Yeah,
They're
if they
gonna
have
have
an
an open
official
beta.
beta, I'm pretty sure that they will. I know that. Well, I don't know officially, but I feel like a lot of the changes that they've been making into the game, and they've started something called the experimental card that goes off across that they put up across all platforms where they do gameplay testing. So even if they make a incremental change, it's not just available for the um, PC users now. You can just go to the experimental card and try it out. And I think they are trying a lot of gameplay things too, and character like buffs and nerfs to either give new abilities to new characters or to update the characters as they move on to the next game. So they'll be more in line with whatever new ideas that they've come up with over the past couple of years. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So all that to say that I think there's going to be an official beta um,
Well,
for
they had
the
a beta period for the original Overwatch. It would
mm-hmm.
make sense to have it again.
Yep. And I think it's going to be mainly focused on their PvE component.
Yeah. I imagine they have enough metrics on PvP and where they wanted to go with that.
Well,
And
the
they've
whole point of the new
already,
one is to tout the campaign, so that means you're going to have, I would imagine, some PvE.
yeah.
Well, they they said that they were dedicated to like continuing Overwatch as PvP, right?
Well, they did more. Well, one, they have the Overwatch League, so of course they're dedicated to doing that. It's like a pretty decent moneymaker for not just the league, but for the aspiring people who want to join the Overwatch League. You know, the gamers who think they have what it takes to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
But they announced a while ago that
Bah.
the PvP component of Overwatch will be free to upgrade to.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
something like that. I
So
think
for
Something like
so.
that.
Overwatch 2, you're only actually buying the new campaign stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now see, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I was not going to be okay with basically buying a reskinning or a DLC upgrade essentially of what the same existing game was.
No. Now there are some like caveats there where they're adding new PvP game modes. They're
Levels and
adding
all that
new
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're adding new maps. They are allowing you if all of the skins that you purchased and or got in the loot boxes um and if you've been playing since day one, you probably have them all right now without having to like give them a dime. Um, you will keep all of that stuff with the new game. So if you purchase the breast cancer awareness mercy skin, you'll be able to use that in the next game. Um,
Cool,
That's
cool.
nice of them because if they
yeah,
were going to pull a Epic Games money grubbing maneuver, that was probably going to have even more blowback than what they've had, and they can't really afford more negative PR in my opinion right now. So
Yeah.
they got to play
yeah.
it safe.
So I
Well,
think the hmm?
I was gonna say to Arcadius's point about them not being able to afford the blowback. I think that's entirely dependent on how much money they're making right now. And if
Like the
they
quarterly,
if
the quarterly
their
feels.
yeah, if their blowback is that they made $700 million off of Overwatch after they talked about you guys have phones and all the various things with Diablo and stuff, then there is a strong possibility they don't give a shit.
There is.
But if they do actually, if they think that this blowback has anything to do with the longevity of their company or the bottom line, it will be more in the
Sensitive.
front of their mind. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm. And it's also like a big box versus or not big box. What I'm trying to say, like bosses versus workers kind of thing too,
Yeah.
where your bosses are genuinely, or generally, or both out of touch.
Yeah.
Um, and you, the person who is doing all of the grunt work, are often I don't want to say the victim, but like are often caught in the crosshairs between management
You get
decisions
you get
and stuff.
scapegoated to the
Yeah.
decisions made.
Hmm.
Like
You have no control
the people that speak for the company do not represent the opinions of the people that work at the company.
or make
Hmm.
up the company,
Yeah.
really.
And that
They're
happens
a facade of the company.
and that
It's a
happens
money-making facade.
so much.
I mean, that's literally how Wall Street runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do we want to move on? Do we have any closing thoughts on Overwatch 2?
No, I'm just really interested to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. So, the next thing we got is a Red Dead Redemption 2 PS5 Enhancement trailer. I'm not surprised. Um, it seems
I mean,
like you
Red
gotta
Dead was pretty
have,
successful.
yeah, you gotta have a Rockstar property on a new console that's definitely gonna move hardware.
Well, well, then they already announced that isn't uh, what is the other property? GTA 5,
GTA
isn't that
5.
already
Yeah,
also going to be there?
they already said that that's gonna be their day one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not surprising. Yeah,
Yeah.
not big on Rockstar.
Not necessarily big on those games, but I do know that that Red Dead is really popular. And recently, I saw someone, I can't even remember his username. God dang it! but they had like a community like photo contest,
Uh-huh.
and the guy's photo for Red Dead was chef's kiss. It was
Really?
so good. I'll find it and send it to you guys later. But it was a guy on his character was on a horse, like shooting the lasso out, and the horse was rearing, and like the sun flare and the shadow.
he
It
had the
was
horse pose.
amazing. Oh
The
my
horse
god, it was
pose.
the horse pose. It looked amazing. I don't even care about that game, and I was like, holy shit, that looks good. You know?
Yeah.
Vast and her horse pose envy kicking in.
You know how hard I tried.
I know, and you're still trying. It's okay, Vast. Keep up the fight.
Yeah.
Keep up the
Man,
good work.
look, Ghost has the
Don't
best.
stop, won't stop.
I'm
Don't
worried.
stop, won't stop.
I'm worried, Vast, that the photo system in Ghost of Tsushima has ruined you for all the other ones that are going to come out eventually.
I
No,
think
it's
the
just
only
set
one
the bar.
it set the bar, but I'm just going to tell you right now, the only one that I'm probably going to say might be good is Horizon Zero Dawns, because
It's gonna have a photo mode.
Well, the original one had a photo mode.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I never touched it.
Dude.
Did not even know.
It was
And
good,
it
but
was
it didn't
good.
have the amount of features that Ghost does.
So
Well, that's okay.
I'm
The next one will
thinking
probably have all that.
that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking this next one is going to rock our socks.
Oh my god.
Because
Oh.
of Ghost.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope that a lot of developers take note on how Ghost like does stuff, because there
Not
are a
just
lot
how they
of
do
good
it,
things.
how well it's received of how they do stuff.
Yeah. How like well they pulled things off. But I think that's a topic for another podcast if we want to talk about that.
Hmm.
We have actually quite a lot still on our list, so if you don't mind us keeping on moving.
Keep on
Do it.
keeping on, because I have a topic that I'm going to do that I want to ask you guys about once we get to the end of this.
Okay, I'm gonna put a couple of these together because I know we're not gonna have a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
The PlayStation Now service trailer and FIFA 21 enhancement trailer. Um,
Freaking FIFA.
FIFA is like video game herpes, right? Like you can't get rid of it. It's there
No, it's
forever.
there forever. There forever.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that once you have it, you gotta live with it. And it's there. It will move consoles. If nothing else, it will move consoles.
Yerp.
And the PlayStation Now service trailer, I mean, it's one of the things that PlayStation bought, that Sony bought, is the cloud computing company that was doing things like this, and they sunk a ton of money into it, and now they have to keep going. I guess there's no other way to move around it.
Well, and they have to. I will say this about Xbox: their Xbox Gold platform is apparently doing really well.
Are you talking
For
about
Xbox,
Game Pass?
is it Game Pass?
Yeah, Game Pass.
Well,
What's
Gold is like their membership subscription, like PS Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called
Yeah.
Xbox Silver and Xbox Gold.
Yeah. I don't think they do silver anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
But yeah, I have this whole thing about Xbox Game Pass that I want to like pass by you guys, but we're not doing. That's not on our docket for podcasts right now. So I'll talk to you guys later about that. Please remind me if I don't think of it.
Can do.
So the next thing is Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay and collector's edition trailer. Vast, you might get your Spider-Man PS5.
You very well might.
What do you think? You happy for it? Are you gonna wait for Spider-Man PS5? Is it gonna be like a launch bundle? What do you think?
I'm not going to. I think it will be a launch bundle. I'm not going to wait to purchase it because it's not going to be in white.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a black and red.
Mhm.
That is one they've already shown a picture of, is a black and red. So instead of a blue light, it'll have a red light.
I think
Which I think
that
is cool, and it's good for the people who want the black PS4.
Black and red and black and red and black and red.
I think that may have been an unofficial thing, Arcadius. I'm
It was
not
on a
sure if
sales
they've actually
banner.
done that.
Maybe. Maybe it's a tease banner. I don't know.
Maybe. Anything we gotta say on that?
No.
No?
No, only that I hope that it's black and red and that it will be announced so that, again, there is no one standing between me and my white PS5.
Well, that's the base color.
Yep.
Seems to be, yeah.
All right.
That means everyone's going to be getting it, but if there's a black and red option,
you're
that's
trying to
one
like
less
muddy
person.
the waters here.
yeah, that's one less
Like,
person
everyone
who's going
go
to
get
stand
your
between
black and red
me.
option while Vass gets her freshly reserved, pristine white
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yes, that's the plan.
I mean, they make one every 30 seconds, Vast.
Yeah. I don't know how long. Like, I don't know their release quantity, though. Like,
It's gonna be buku.
I hope so, but I'm not sure.
Buku
I'm
quantities.
not putting my stamp of Buku, my Buku stamp on it quite yet.
No one knows how many
Yeah.
like PlayStations are going to be sold this year. Like, I'm sure everyone is making conservative bids.
I mean, Corona's gonna mess all the metrics up, so
Yeah.
U.S. unemployment numbers alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't listed a price yet, to be
they're gonna
perfectly
wait till
honest.
Corona starts to be on the subsiding end. Do you think?
No.
Well,
I
if
think.
they
The way-
want it, look. Oof.
Okay, listen. That's an off-stream conversation. So the next one on our list is a Returnal features trailer. Will somebody please remind me what Returnal is?
Returnal was the one where we said that looks like an interesting game, but the name is bad. It's those third person shooter that was almost like Live Die Repeat. She repeated the same coming to the
Oh.
planet.
And there's
And
like
it-
a lady that keeps hunting you, but you don't know why she keeps hunting you. And every one of these lives that you're trying to survive on the island, that
No,
people...
that you're thinking of Deathloop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one is an actual sci-fi shooter where a woman comes to a planet. She wakes up. She dies some way. We don't know why or how yet, and she relives that day. And the gameplay almost looked like a shoot. What do they call those? Like a space shooter. It looked kind of Metroidy.
Oh, like
But
like a Star Fox kind of, like she had the ship, right? Is that the one we're talking about?
No, she didn't have a ship.
God
She
damn
was-
it! I'm all over the place.
No, but I know which one you're thinking of. I can't think of that name, but the one you're thinking of, she was actually on a ship, and they were like, something's wrong with her. We don't want her to learn the truth, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
No, this
I'll
one,
look it up
again,
after.
older woman comes to a planet in a white suit with an encounter mask or helmet. It's a third-person action shooter, but the way that the gameplay looked, it's like it looked like a side-scrolling space shooter, like the way that the bullets, like a bullet hell game, like
Okay.
but it's three-dimensional, so it's coming straight at you instead of being side-scrolling.
Oh, that's
Do you guys
weird.
remember that?
No.
It kind of looked.
I'll look it up.
You guys look it up.
later.
Look up the trailer. We
Yeah.
watched the trailer, guys.
I
And I'm
am
explaining it
absolutely
very
sure that we did.
clearly.
I have done a lot of work since then, so I forgot almost all of those.
That was eons ago in COVID time, you know.
Lord, let me tell you. And to our one listener who's listening, please leave a comment and let them know that I actually explained this very succinctly and well. And I wasn't at all confusing.
Oh my gosh. All right, the next thing on our list, and can I please get a different name on this? Because I don't like it one bit. I know.
Snacks.
No, it's
Oh.
Sackboy, a big adventure
Ah.
story.
Well, he's made out of a sack.
I know, but like, why would you name your main character Sackboy? It just reminds
Got
me
a
of a
lot of
scrotum
connotations on
vest.
him.
I know, but maybe they want you to be reminded of a scrotum and all the fun.
I
Then
don't
it sounds like I
have
am not the
with
target
your
audience.
scrotum. I don't know. I don't have one, but I assume that you can have fun with it.
I am not
guess.
the target audience for this game, if that is the case.
Oh my gosh! Wow. All right. Do we have anything to say on this? This is like an adventure game with Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
I think it looks cute. It looks like it's going to be a fun platforming game, and if I recall, this one has multiplayer, right? It's a co-op game, kind of like Rayman.
Little Big Planet, I think always did. So, I think they would be tripping up if they didn't have it.
If I remember the trailer that they had from the PlayStation reveal, it looked like there was like co-op in the vein of Rayman game, which I don't know when the last time you played a Rayman game, but I did sober, cried laughing. It was so much fun. So hopefully it has that kind of feel good gameplay for you and friends.
There we go. Endorsement by Vast Empires. Wants to play as a scrotum.
I'll be set.
You had to
set
take it
girl.
there. You just had to take it there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the next one is Gran Turismo 7 Nurburgring trailer. Moving right along from that. Nurburgring, really, really cool track. Gran Turismo 7, really, really beautiful game that I won't buy.
Same.
It's going to be a cool trailer. Don't know about the rest. I guess we don't have anything to say, huh?
Well, so here's the thing with the Gran Turismo. I always look forward to seeing the game because they are
Stunning.
Gran Turismo and Forza are stunning games, and they're always like the graphical
Benchmarks.
benchmarks for your console games, and they always look delicious. It's such good car porn. I do like cars. I like seeing them in action, and so I'm looking forward to this game. Do I want to play it? Hell no.
However, it exists, and everything is right with the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, next on our list is something that we are all very interested in, and it is the co-op trailer for Godfall.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Godfall team has been dribbling out some really potent information, but they have not given us the multiplayer goods, as it were. They've let us in about a little bit about the gameplay, a little bit about the Valor plates, which are their armor sets. Some of the
they've named a sword, I believe.
They named a sword. They showed some actual single player gameplay. So you got to see several of the different specials. They talked about the weapons classes. So they've given us a lot, but nothing about what's it going to be to play together. Yeah. And the co-op is what I'm really here for.
Yeah, we had already had our sights set on us playing as a team like we usually do.
Day one!
I mean, it just wouldn't be our group without us, right?
Dying while Scorch saves the day.
Video evidence, you guys. Video evidence.
Look, that Minecraft Dungeons, I watched it again like a day or two ago, and I still cried.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
All right, so next thing, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart Rachel gameplay trailer. Anybody want to take this one, or is it gonna be me?
Well, I'm interested in it. I think it's cool that they're adding a new character for you to play, and that they're expanding the family. However cool she will be, and however fun her gameplay might be, I'm really just here for Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
So We're going to see.
So I'm
We're going to see.
invested in this character already, and it is because of the way that they have set up Ratchet and Clank in total. Because the entire series, they keep telling you, like they said this from the first one all the way through the last one,
You're the
that
last.
Ratchet is the only Lombax in the universe. And lo and behold, we have another Lombax in this game.
In a cross universe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm imagining that it's going to be female Ratchet, and I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Hmm.
She's gonna have some snarky one-liners. She's gonna have a robot friend, and I'm so on board. I'm
I
ready
Is
for
think
she going
that'll
to
be
this.
have a
fine.
robot friend, or is her robot friend going to be Clank?
Ooh, it might be Clank.
Ooh.
He's gonna be like the bridge between the two.
There you
Hmm.
go.
That's what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm getting from
Bringing
the
it
trailer
all
that we saw.
together.
But
Yeah.
we'll know more. We'll know more for after this. On August 6th,
Yes. On Thursday. Let's
my boss will be
see.
back. Thank God.
So we're gonna get a console overview. This is gonna be towards the end. Oh shit. We're gonna get a console overview. And like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by Silverfish. Um, this is probably going to end up being close to the end of our our state of play. And along with that, we're going to get a backwards compatibility trailer. Now, there's somebody in our group, Arcadius,
Oh my
that
god.
that has been begging for this
Pleading
forever.
on bended knee. Please.
Would you?
Please go far, far back with the backwards compatibility.
So, yeah, tell us about that. How do you want it to work?
So
Like
I actually
everything.
don't care if they utilize the full power of this new PlayStation to create an imaged emulator built into the PlayStation. I do not care. Because we know it's going to have enough horsepower to do that, and that would technically be the most memory intensive and CPU intensive thing that could be done, unless they figure out a sort of reported format that they could put some of those older games and kind of not re-render, but I guess maybe you could, well, in terms of just people understanding it, re-render certain games into newer formats and compatibility segues for the different firmware and hardware that's available to basically say you used to be formatted for this firmware because it contained this hardware. We're basically going to duplicate that and say it's still got it, only it's better. So it might have to it might basically boil down to firmware updates, which could be tedious. I don't doubt that, but there haven't exactly been a lot of hardware changes across the console, so firmware is
Hmm.
something that's relatively known and it's not a mystery, so it's something that can be easily troubleshot. Which is why I think it's very doable for them to do that. Please, please do that. But yeah, if they could do anything in the realm of allowing stuff all the way back to basically, in my opinion, if they go to PlayStation 3 games and forward, I think that'll make a lot of people happy. Because PlayStation 3 was the first generation of Blu-ray player, and
Hmm.
so a lot of those games really started cranking up the fidelity and the visual stunningness that the hardware had to offer. And if they can start from that point forward, I don't think it'll be too difficult. If they try to reach back to PlayStation 2 and before, I think they're going to struggle personally.
I think I have a different opinion on that. Like where they should
Shoot.
start, that is. Because from my limited knowledge of the industry and how everything came to be, PlayStation 3 architecture was an absolute bitch to work with. And that's part of the reason why the console was so expensive. That's part of the reason why the 360 won the day in that iteration. Um, And PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games are so simple that like a college student learning to code would be able to get an emulator running on it, and takes very little to actually port any of those. So I think your like big hump for any of this is going to be the PlayStation 3 era, simply because the architecture for all of that was so different.
Certainly, I believe that.
That's not to say they can't do it, and if they don't do it, they're going to be seriously messing up. But um, I
To
think
me,
that's
that's how
going to
they
be their
win the
tripping point.
Xbox war. If you want to sit there and debate about a PlayStation or an Xbox, and PlayStation goes, by the way, if you've ever played a PlayStation game, you can also play it again. Can't take all my money. Like that's everybody's going to be sitting there going, why would I buy an Xbox then? I can play every game I ever enjoyed on PlayStation again.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be through a subscription service or a repurchasable downloadables, however, they end up doing that, which I kind of I hope they still do the buy model, just so that way there's ownership per, individual profiles, and you can download it and play it whenever you want, and not this weird subscription thing. I really dislike subscription services to play games because it's like, well, you have to keep playing this subscription if you want to, go and play some of those older games, like for turning it on and off. I don't know. Kind of
Like
money grabby,
well,
but
everything's going to subscription right now. So
I
as
Yeah.
much as we
know.
want to, everything is subscription right now. Like your utilities are
Everything.
already subscription services, so they just
The
took that
OG
model.
subscription.
Yeah, they just took that model and applied it to everything else.
Yeah, as much as I don't like it, they probably will end up doing it. However, if it is a relatively affordable subscription, I think I can find a couple stints where I would pay money to go back and play some of my older games.
I just don't
Or,
understand why it's not bundled with your one-time payment for PlayStation Plus.
well, then
That's what
what
they
they
need to
also
do.
might do is increase the cost of PlayStation Plus by a couple dollars or so and bundle that. There's a
I would,
possibility for that too. And I would,
I,
again, I'd throw the money down without even thinking.
mm-hmm.
Take
That like they
my
pull an
money.
Amazon instead of a monthly subscription. I'd be much happier with that.
Yeah.
Although I
So
understand that the subscription model is for people who, you know,
unless
need
they
to pay
split their subscription models,
$6.99
they
a month.
maintain the
You know.
same PlayStation Plus model they have, and then they have a PlayStation Plus that has, retro or includes all of your older game stuff.
Yeah. I guess they could do that. Do we want to move on?
Let's move.
Okay. We're getting towards the end of it. This one came out of left field for me, and it's going to find an audience, though I imagine the audience has been diminished with recent events. There's going to be a trailer for Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Mm,
We canceled JK, so I don't.
She's out.
yeah.
She's out. People still love the property though, and I'm not going to take
Yeah.
that away from her. But excuse me, take that away from them. But we're not supporting her or her castle or her money anymore.
Yeah, she's got plenty of it.
Yeah. She's not
No,
hurting
but
for anything.
she's not hurting.
Yeah.
But seriously though, is this the like Niantic game? Like what?
No,
what
that
exactly
already
is this?
came out.
Okay. Is this a PlayStation version of that, or is this a completely
No,
different
I
property?
think this is a new game.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea about it or anything. It was just on the list of leaks. So, yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to grab the people as much as it would have 10
Yeah,
years ago.
definitely. Or if that universe was still like actively being built. I think it's a
Well, I
little
guess
late.
technically, I guess it is because they did the prequel films. Like the most recent one came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't think it did very well, but yeah.
The first one did okay. The second one didn't do so well, but part of that I think had to do with Johnny Depp's star falling.
God, Johnny Depp. Like, everybody knew he's a weirdo, but he's like a fucking weirdo, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're
He's
not
out
going to get
there.
into this, but there's a lot of gossipy news on this, and if you go by the news, like no side is pretty on this one. But let's keep it moving because
Yeah.
this is not
Yeah,
celebrity
he's a
gossip.
messy topic.
Yeah, he is. All right, so we only have two things left. One of them we're gonna go and then the other one is why I've named our podcast what we've named it. Excuse me. The first one that we're gonna go on is Mortal Kombat 11 Character Pack 3 trailer.
There's more characters,
I think they're
There's
talking
or is
about.
this like a
more.
I think they're
Smash?
talking about skins for characters.
Oh, I thought this was like
More-
Smash Brothers, where they're bringing in games characters from different franchises, which I think that would be cool if it was. But if it's just skins, then what are you showing this for us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Trying to breathe relevance back into stuff again.
Actually, I think it might have something to do with that because I saw maybe a link to a trailer with the Joker in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they do some of that.
I know, but it was like recent, and I know that that team is the same one that does the DC's Injustice
Mm-hmm.
series. So it could be part of the crossover they're talking about.
Possibly. So, shall we go on to the last thing on our list?
Last thing on the list.
Last
Do
thing on the
it.
list is simply titled a PlayStation 5 trailer. This is probably going to come at the end of the state of play, and we are thinking possibly that this is when they're going to show us the price point for the new console.
Do it.
Do you guys think this is the right time? What do you guys think that this console is going to be
The
priced
only reason
at?
I think that it's somewhat the right time is they're pressured to do so because Xbox has already done it.
Have they? Has Xbox
They
said?
haven't released a price.
Yeah, I
thought
don't
they
think
did.
so. I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
I
no
don't
one
think
has
they've
released
said
a price
anything.
yet.
Yeah.
So my
Then I think
comment
it's
is
a staring contest. I think then between who blinks first.
So
Yeah,
what? You don't think that they're gonna be releasing a price?
I think at this point in time, there is no good time to do it, so they
Yeah.
might
They're
as
probably
well
just
do
gonna go
it.
ahead and do it. Yeah.
The year is crazy, and this staring contest that Microsoft and Sony is doing at this point is really freaking stupid because
Yeah.
They're just delaying revenue they could be making in hard times.
yeah, and they both know competitive intelligence about how much each other's console is going to cost, and neither of them can afford to make it cost what this like. We understand that
It will
consoles
cost
usually
more.
sold at a loss,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but there's no way that they can make them put the price at the current price points. So they have to just go ahead and price it what they think they should price it, which is going to be between the in the $500 to $600 range, and just do it. My cell phone costs $1,200. Okay,
That's true.
so
That's true.
a console costing $500 isn't that bad.
No, not at all. Not when you put
I
it
have to
into
agree
that
with that.
context.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think the price is? Vast has it coming in at 500.
Well, no, I
Remember, there's
still
two versions. There's the digital
Yeah.
version and the CD version.
And so my idea is that there's the CD version, and hopefully, although I have been told this is not the case, but hopefully there is a like a 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte version of the PlayStation 5 digital edition, and that will be the more expensive of the consoles. and that'll
Okay.
probably be in the 550 to 600 range. Or I could have it backwards, but one of them is going to be 550 to 600.
Okay. Okay. Arcadius, what are you thinking?
I think that's probably about right. 499 and 599. I think those are probably going to be the two prices. And all I can say is between the two, if the one that has the CD offers the kind of backwards compatibility I'm hoping for, I'm going to buy that one without question. But if the backwards compatibility is only going to come from the digital store, then I'm just going to get the digital edition.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn to speculate wildly, right?
Speculate.
Okay. I have a different take from the both of you.
Let's hear
And
it.
it's not necessarily the price, because I think the price is going to be straight across the board $4.99 for both physical, like
Oh.
optical drive and digital edition. And that's going to be the only change between the two consoles is, do you want optical drive, do you want digital? They are not going to be coming out with larger disk space for either of them. And it's going to be $4.99 for both.
You don't think they're coming out with a larger disk space version?
Not in the beginning. I think they're going to keep it the same. The only thing that's going to be
Hmm.
changing is, do you want an optical drive? Do you want digital? And both of those are going to cost the same amount of money.
And I've been told that there's not going to be that chances are of them having different drive sizes is none. Not even slim to none, but none. But I'm still holding out hope because, one, I would buy it, and if I would buy it, someone else would. It'd be a huge missed opportunity for revenue. Is basically what I'm trying to say
Well,
for PlayStation. Like it'd be just a dumb move for them not to do it.
I'm not saying
And
that they're never going to do that. I'm saying that they're going to be releasing a larger disk space version later down the line when they decide that they have the bandwidth to reduce the price on the original models.
But then that
like,
would imply they have to do a hard drive design that's easily swappable.
You could. I mean, you can swap the hard drives in the PS4s right now, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. In the same way that there's going to be some kind of pro version, like the same way that there's a PS4 Pro, there's going to be some kind of mid-cycle updated,
Hmm.
upgraded version of the thing. I'm just saying that at launch, for them to not capitalize on a digital edition and having your buyer have the option to choose to have more in the same way that you can choose to have a higher hard drive space with your computer is just dumb. Either people will buy
Yeah.
or they won't,
That sounds like it would be a missed opportunity.
that's what I'm saying.
And
And
your
that's why I'm
opinions
holding
are
out. And that's why I'm holding out hope that they will do it.
and your opinions are very valid. We're all in the speculation zone right now.
The speculation zone.
We need that soundboard.
Downboard coming.
As soon as we
2021.
as soon as we all start recording on PC and we can fuck around with PC stuff,
Mm-hmm.
our
Disneyland.
production value will be in the dozens of dollars.
Ooh boy.
You know it.
Step aside. Retirement, here we come.
I was gonna add something else to that list. Oh, yeah, another bit of speculation before we get out of here. Do y'all have a release date? Not a window, but a date that this thing is going to be coming out.
No, because I think that's still COVID dependent too. They've
Okay.
already drugged their feet in
Okay.
the announcement of a price, but once they do the price, people will start kind of budgeting over the course of the next several months, and they will probably know this and anticipate this, and then the release date will be something farther in the future, so that way the people who are maybe currently unemployed, by the time that it's released, might have dollars to spend. But that's just my guess.
I think it's going to probably be released in the same time. You said not a window.
You can give a small one. I was trying to get rid of the option of any of us saying it's gonna be holiday 2020 because we already know that.
Oh no. Oh yeah, no. I think it's going to be released the same timeline as the PlayStation 4, and I think that one was released like it wasn't. Well, first of all, let me take a step back. It's not going to be the Thanksgiving weekend because Black Friday is already like in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like some of the I think Walmart is like giving their employees Thanksgiving off, which sounds terrible,
Holy
but
shit!
yes,
Really?
they are.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're giving them Thanksgiving off this
It's
year.
totally doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Black Friday, but Thanksgiving itself, because you know that now like Black Friday starts on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with it rolling back farther and farther and farther, the same way that like when summer's about to end and you start seeing Christmas stuff on the or Thanksgiving stuff on the shelf. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. So that I'm knocking that one off, and I'm saying that it's going to be released the week before Thanksgiving, like that Tuesday, the Tuesday
Okay.
before the week of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I think that's in line with like the PlayStation 4. I think it was released like the first or second week of November too.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to release it like September 30th, I'll be ready.
Oh,
What about you guys?
well,
Hmm.
I don't know why this date is in my head, but it is. And then I'm going to give you
Who are you dating at Sony?
a small window.
Who are you dating at Sony?
Hey, calm down. All right.
I'm just asking because if people want to know.
They
You
will
have some.
they will never know. You know how secretive I am about that shit. Anyway,
You have some really suspiciously good takes this round. I'm just asking. Just asking.
okay, so I am going to say that they will be releasing the PlayStation 5 on November 17th. I don't know why that date sounds good to me, but it does.
Oh, that's the day that I said.
Yeah.
No wonder it's suspiciously good.
And my actual window was going to be early to mid-November. Like
Okay.
that's when they were shooting for it. So anytime between the 5th and the 17th, I would say, is where they're shooting for it. I think if one of these people is going to announce that they're releasing in November, I think that one of two things will happen to the other console maker, and it's that they will announce that, oh, we're releasing October, or we are going to be releasing in
someday
February.
slightly sooner. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they're going to take their time and say, we're releasing in February.
No. See, even as crazy as this year has been, they have to release before peak Christmas shopping time.
Yeah.
If
And
they want to
then
make revenues this year.
And that's why they would be skipping January and going for February.
so they wouldn't be trying to make revenue for Q4?
From Q4, yeah. If that makes sense.
It does. I don't think they're going to do it, but this is speculation.
I mean, they would be entirely dumb to miss out on Christmas bankroll opportunities. But
Yeah.
this year is weird.
Yeah.
And
Yerp.
anything could happen at this point.
Yeah, I
Anything.
mean, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else before we end it? Are there any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. So, how does this leaked and speculated PlayStation event stack up to Microsoft's last big event?
If they, all right, here's the deal. I'm way more excited about what Sony's talking about than what Xbox is talking about.
Mm.
They have a Sony has put, if this leak is to be believed, they've got a ton of trailers and gameplay for us. Xbox, their games showcase had gameplay for like 2 games. It was an hour's worth of content, and they only showed gameplay for like 2 things.
Yeah.
Um, and I can't get out of the way of my Sony bias. I don't own an Xbox or anything like that, and
For
I'm
reasons.
even less enthused about what Xbox is cooking up because they are releasing everything on Windows also, and I have a PC, so that nixes their console entirely.
They kind of bypassed themselves.
Yeah, which is something I wanted to talk to you guys about later, for another podcast possibly. But if they talk about if they actually do release a price point or say when you can start pre-ordering it or when the release date is, this is going to be all anybody is ever going to talk about until the actual release of the console.
Yep.
I don't think Xbox has a single chance after this
After the announcement.
to capture any amount of attention for this cycle.
The only thing that I would agree with you.
Ooh.
I would say the only thing that they would be able to do is to come in at a lower price, which is why they're waiting for Sony to release their
Yeah,
price.
but what's funny is they're only going to come in like 10 or 20 bucks below. It's not going to be astronomically low. It's going to be
Yep.
laughably low, only for them to say, "Oh, well, but we're cheaper." And it's like, "Yeah, by like 20 bucks." Like
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
I'm
know
not
that they would be able to like drive it any
sway all the
lower.
masses, yeah. To me it's funny because I see it in sales stuff all the time. It's like, "Oh, look how much cheap look, we're cheaper. We're cheaper than our competitors." Yeah, you're cheaper by like 2%. Okay, cheaper. But like it yeah, whenever people start touting about how much cheaper they are and it's like barely noticeable percentages of cheaper only for the sake of saying across their sales banners they can paste all over the place, "We're cheaper than the competitors."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, it's technically true, but it's stupid.
All right.
Yep.
So the one thing that I have to say about that is that tactic works. I worked in a shop for 3 months that bought Makita tools, okay?
I know it
It
works, and that's
works.
why
Like
I'm
it exists
frustrated at
for
the
a
same
reason.
time.
Yeah, I was going to say that my job explicitly is describing the features and benefits and value that you will
Yes,
receive, and constantly being swooped in under by
I
either
know.
bad fact stacks of cash falling from like the bigger competitors or the newer, cheaper models saying, "Hey, we're super cheap," and people being really tired of being jerked around by the top that they go to the
Hmm.
bottom, and then when they're done with the bottom, they come to the middle where we are
Yeah,
because cheap is not better.
definitely not in most
No.
cases.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Ask anything?
No, no, but I just wanted to bring up those Xbox talks, and I know there'll be a bigger conversation about it once we actually see what Sony is releasing. And I am really, I didn't get a chance to make this point, but I am really interested to see what they're going to be doing with their PlayStation Now and how it's going to compete with the Xbox service that is apparently doing really well and
Games
is
Pass?
really, yeah, their Games Pass that's really well and doing really well, and that the Xbox players are actually like vocally excited and happy for.
Hmm.
And as a community, I don't see them being vocally happy and excited for an Xbox related thing. It's more about like the exclusive games type things. But
Hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
just me.
Okay. I think we have enough ammunition there for another podcast.
Yeah.
So I guess
Well,
we'll end it unless we have anything else related to this leak.
yep.
Now we're done. All right.
Play
What
Ghost of Tsushima.
play Ghost of Tsushima? It's so good. We will definitely have
Tsushima.
another podcast on that. We have 2 or 3 coming up. All right. So this has been our podcast. If you like it, recommend it to other people. If you don't like it, what the hell are you doing here? We do this every once in a while. Keep an eye on our Twitter at Durnami Gaming for links to our podcasts and things.
We'll have Tsushima picks up.
We will. That I think that's about everything. We'll see y'all later.